Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the new Kong of Skull Island plush toy. I'm also going to take this opportunity to review the movie and let you guys know what I thought. So first and foremost, I'm going to put the helicopter down. We will come back to that and see some awesome toy army helicopter attack action shortly. First of all, sorry for not having any reviews for a little bit of time. I've been flat out with work, uni. I've also got my first ever fight coming up for martial arts, so that's quite exciting. So a lot of things have been happening, but I haven't forgotten about the reviews. I do have a ton of stuff planned. It's just a matter of getting around to it. One thing I did make time to see was Kong of Skull Island, a movie I've been waiting for a very long time. Maybe it's just me, but I'm kind of sick of superhero movies. Every time I go to the movies, it seems that's what I'm going to watch. So it was nice to have an old school Monster Mash movie. I loved Shin Godzilla last year. The 2014 Godzilla I was not a fan, and I enjoyed the 2005 King Kong. I've always been a big King Kong fan. I think this is the best monster movie of all time. Better than Pacific Rim, just because of the action in it and the scenes. And Pacific Rim is regarded as one of the best monster movies of all time. So very impressed with Kong of Skull Island. Highly recommend that you guys check it out. So what did I like about the movie? Well, the first thing I liked is they introduced you to the characters in, I thought, a really nice dynamic way. The story made sense. It was very logical. You have a team that are going there basically to what is essentially Monster Island to investigate it. Without spoiling too much, I love that it was set in the 70s. I thought it was in Vietnam. It turns out it's actually in the Asia Pacific near Thailand, which I still had absolutely no problems with at all. So from that point of view, the setting really grabbed me and drew me, and I think that was a very smart choice. The next thing I loved as well is Samuel L. Jackson. His character was fantastic. He's the stereotypical, guns blazing, America's the greatest sergeant, but he just played that role fantastic. The other thing I liked too is the other actors in the movie, and they had some big name actors in there, all played their parts perfectly. You had the English SAS officer, voice of reason. You had the hippie photographer. You had the gun-ho soldiers, and without spoiling too much, there's another surprise guest that I didn't actually know was in the movie, but he was a fantastic addition as well. For me, my favorite scene was when Kong attacks the soldiers in the helicopters. That scene is fantastic. It is so well done. You have all the choppers flying in. They start assaulting him. He picks up a tree and literally hurls it at the first helicopter. That's how you see Kong. They all open fire. It's just such a cool scene. They're all flying around attacking him. I guess I'm doing my best to reenact what it's like. But basically, it is Kong just crushing and destroying everything. You have, I think it's the Seahawk or the Seabird, the giant helicopter that's got all the guns and all the weapons on there. That gets monstered as well. And what I liked is that the soldiers weren't incompetent either. You see several scenes where, a helicopter goes down, so they deploy like the recon teams and the guys to go save them. And then Kong just crushes and destroys them. And you see Samuel L. Jackson, a guy who's gone through the Vietnam War. They show all his medals and everything. Obviously he's a very strong combat soldier. You see him just staring down Kong, and it is such a good moment in the movie where there's all the fire and destruction, all the helicopters are getting destroyed, and you see Samuel L. Jackson just staring down Kong, and that great line where he says, I know an enemy when I see one, and it sets such a good tone from the movie early on. In terms of Kong's appearance, the CGI I thought was quite good. I had no problems with that. He is what he is. I like that he's going to get bigger. That is something that I think is very, very cool. The other thing I loved as well with the movie is that they kept it logical, as logical, I guess, as you can have a giant gorilla monster movie. Everything made sense. I like the setup for the new upcoming Godzilla at the end after the credits with King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was well done. I also like the story behind the island and the other monsters that are on it. Now, I have read most of the Kong of Skull Island Prelude comic, and that is garbage. I do not recommend the comic whatsoever. I really dislike it. It's a whole backstory of the tribes people that are there. If you're interested in that sort of stuff and that floats your boat, then good on you. For me, I was wanting giant Kong fighting monster action. But anyway, so the comic book I would give a miss. He does fight some monsters in there, but they're more the Skull Crusher and dinosaur type monsters. Speaking of the Skull Crushers, I think they were called. They look cool. I love their design, kind of lizard-like. I like that they had really big muscular arms, and they were scary. They did look really cool. The captain of the Seahawk, I forget the guy's name, but when he got killed, I was very sad. So that wasn't good. But overall, even the giant spider monster, the ants, the flying stuff was all cool. Overall, I mean, I think they had good designs for monsters, had a good story, and a highly recommended movie. So, on to the actual King Kong plush toy. I was in the States not too long ago in January, and Walmart had a stack of King Kong toys. They had the helicopters, the boats, the monsters, everything, and I thought, I won't get them because it's a lot of room to carry, and they were very cheap too, mind you. I won't get them because when the movie comes out in Australia, they will release the figures. I cannot find the King Kong figures anywhere. Zero. Not Target, Kmart, Toys R Us, you name it. I am yet to find them, and it is really frustrating, especially considering the ridiculous prices people ask on eBay. The only King Kong thing I was able to find was this plush toy, which I actually got from a $2 shop of all places. So that's my King Kong Kong of Skull Island merchandise. He is not a bad plush toy. I mean, he walks, talks, looks, and feels like a gorilla should. There's no doubt about that. He is soft and squishy, which makes me think he's some kind of dog chew toy. You can pose his arms and have him scratch his chin. He does have a little bit of action. Check this out, where both arms move, which is perfect, I guess, for smashing, bashing, and crashing. Let's put a tank down there, and let's kick it away. Things. So in that respect, he's pretty useful. Hang on, let's sort this out. There we go. So it is a decent looking plush toy. Look at him dance. If we I'm trying to think if there's any sort of action that will help him dance more effectively, but it looks like you do have to hold his arms. But what I like is that it's like a soft wire in here that allows you to move him. He does have some nice battle scars. And then look at that. That is a face that just screams, I love you. I mean, for what it is from a $2 shop, I can't really complain. It's kind of cool. Certainly not as good as the actual Skull Island merchandise, which I'm hoping does come out here soon. But as of yet, I'm not sure when it is coming. Overall, Kong of Skull Island was fantastic. Highly recommended. One of the most enjoyable movies I've seen in a while. Yes, there'll be people that'll probably bag it and say it was terrible. Those people suck. I thought the movie was really good. I think this dog chew toy $2 shop special is pretty good for what it is. I'm hoping that King Kong merchandise hits Australian shores soon so I can start reviewing it for you guys. But stay tuned because I've got lots of cool stuff coming up.